Hi, uh, this is Paul. I just wanted to. I did a review of Samaritan. Now I just want to talk about the twist in this movie. I didn't talk about that, and I just said it was a twist in there, but I didn't explain it. The twist in this movie is, like I said, there's two brothers. You know, they kind of the young kid goes, kind of explains the story about how there was these two kids, twins that were born, and they had, they couldn't be hurt and stuff, and they had super strength and all that stuff. And I guess they said the people of the town basically, set their house on fire and locked them and killed their parents. Okay, and Samaritan of the twins, he was the one twin that became a good guy and was fighting, against good. And then Nemesis was the bad guy. He wanted to get revenge against the people for, killing his parents and stuff. And he wanted to rise up, and he created this big, this hammer, and he kind of lured his brother Samaritan to this power plant to, to kill him, basically, because he wanted revenge against the people for, and Samaritan represented the people, all the good people, and he wanted revenge for his parents' death and stuff. But the twist, and then they tell you that they had a battle in the beginning in the warehouse, and then there was a big explosion, and they both died. And then later we see through flashbacks with the character of Joe Smith, played by Sylvester Stallone. Now the young kid thinks throughout the movie, because he sees, him beat up these local thugs. They see him get hit by a car, and he kind of, he's all twisted, and he kind of twists himself back into shape. And whenever he uses his power too much, he has to cool down. So you see, when they go to his apartment, he has a refrigerator full of just ice cream, so he has to cool himself down, or else his heart will explode. And whenever he uses his powers. So, this kid thinks that he's Samaritan because, he's helping people. He helped him. And, so that's what he thinks, So he thinks, okay, this guy, this garbage man, supposedly, who collects junk and fixes it, he thinks this guy is obviously Samaritan. But the twist is, like I said, the main villain, Cyrus, he worships Nemesis, Samaritan's brother, who supposedly died in the big explosion with his brother, Samaritan. But we find out after Cyrus, he gets the hammer from the police lockup and the mask, and he starts terrorizing the city in the name of Nemesis, saying, that Nemesis was for the people and all this stuff. But we find out later when Stallone's character comes back to save the kid, and he's fighting the bad guy, and the bad guy has the hammer, and he's saying, I'm going to finish what Nemesis started. And Samaritans, who we think, Joe Smith, who we think is supposed to be Samaritan, he actually reveals that, no, I'm not the bad. He said, I'm not the good guy, I'm the bad guy. And of course he says he was Nemesis. Okay, he wasn't Samaritan, he was Nemesis. And they show in the flashback where his brother had a chance, Samaritan had a chance to kill Nemesis, but he threw away the hammer and didn't do it and walked away. But then, because where they were fighting, there was an explosion, and he falls, but he catches, he almost falls down, and his brother Nemesis comes to save him, but he can't hold him up, and he falls, and he's left there with his brother's mask, Samaritan's mask, and his mask. After he takes it off, then we see that, of course, it's Stallone in the Nemesis costume, and he throws them both away. And then so we find out that actually he is Samaritan. That's Nemesis. That he is. Now that twist I didn't see coming until not at first. I think. Well, I'm trying to remember the point why I thought that he was Nemesis. I mean, yeah, I think when he kept having these nightmares, okay, of that fight of him and his brother, and they didn't take off their masks. That's what made me think, you know what, he's gonna be Nemesis. That's what I thought. That's when it got to me, and I didn't realize this till later when somebody talked about it when I read a review of it. Anytime that Whatchcott kept using that hammer, you could see Stallone's character Joe Smith. He kept, he was like psychically connected to that hammer, and he kept, being affected by it, and you could tell that he was affected by it. But that's when I kind of when they kept showing these flashbacks, and then of them fighting and stuff, and then you didn't see them take off their masks, which I thought they were going to do. So you could, and then we see, of course, that at the towards the end when he grabs the hammer from the bad guy, and he says, "I was the bad guy," and then they go, "Oh man," and you see the look on the bad guy's eyes, like, "Oh crap, he's Nemesis," And then they show the flashback of him, when he takes his mask off, and of course it's Stallone in the Nemesis costume. Okay, that would have been cool if because they were supposed to be twins, I think, right? So it would have been kind of cool if they, because remember he took his, when he fell, when Samaritan fell, fell into the thing to die. Nemesis was left with his mask. If they would have just, they could have showed you, Stallone there, because remember they're supposed to be twins anyway, right? So, but that's when I kind of guessed that was going to be the twist, that he was Nemesis and not Samaritan. Okay, but I don't know, it's a twist, and I know somebody also said that maybe that Samaritan would have came at the when Joe was battling the villain and stuff and kicking behind, and I love the action scenes in this movie. He's kicking ass, and maybe the villain would get the better of him, and then Samaritan, who everybody thought was dead, just like everybody thought Nemesis was dead, Samaritan would have came back and helped his brother. That would have been cool. If that, maybe I'll save that for the sequel. That would be cool, because remember, if he fell, but they were practically like Wolverine, indestructible. So I would love if they do a sequel, and you can have Stallone play both parts. You can, like I said, because they're supposed to be twins, and have him play Samaritan and Nemesis, okay, and let him find Nemesis, or maybe he has memory, he can't remember who he is. Samaritan, he's out there somewhere. That would be cool if they do a sequel like that, and then they could like reunite, and you can get Stallone to play both parts, like because they're supposed to be twins. Okay, so that was the twist. Okay, and like I said, I like this movie because it was like a throwback to these 80s movies, those action movies by Golan and Globus, those movies, Golan and, those 80 action movies that had horrible scripts but had good action in it. That's what this movie kind of reminds me of. So I did enjoy it. So I definitely would say, definitely recommend it, and I hope they make a sequel. Okay, and like I said, maybe they can have in the sequel have him find his brother. Because at the end he sees, after Stallone rescues the kid and he kind of fades, the kid kind of keeps the legend going that because everybody thinks Samaritan's back after Stallone at one part in the movie he saved this young girl, so everybody thinks Samaritan is alive now, and so it would be cool if they actually have his character, have Joe, who's Nemesis, actually find his brother Samaritan. Maybe he's out there somewhere and maybe he has amnesia and can't remember who he was. That would be cool. That would be a nice sequel if they do that, and then you can have them like do 3 movies. Like you have the second movie, you can have them, like I said, he finds that his brother's alive, okay, and he has memory, like he can't remember who he was, and then they reunite. They fight at first, and then they reunite and take out whoever the bad guys in that movie. And then you can have a third movie, okay. You can do it like a time jump, and they can be training that young kid. He can be an adult, and then they can go out as heroes. Those Samaritan and Nemesis, and the young kid will take over and become the new hero. That would be cool if they do it like that. Do 3 of those movies. I would like that. But anyway, let me know about this twist. Did you see it coming, and when did you see it coming? Like I said, I didn't see it coming until they kept showing that flashback of them fighting, and they wouldn't take off their mask, because I thought for sure they would take off their mask, and when they didn't, I said, wait a minute. There's a reason why why he's not taking off that mask. Okay, because they're going to try to surprise you and say, then I thought, oh, you know what? Nemesis is alive, and Samaritan is the one that died. And Stallone this is his way of, of kind of, he went into seclusion and stuff and just kind of laid low and stuff. Because, like I said, he realized the error of his ways, when his brother didn't kill him and stuff. And he said, oh, I just wanted revenge. But look at my brother who could have stopped me and stuff. He didn't. He threw the hammer down and then my brother died. So then he decided to, help people and fix things and live a quiet life. Okay, so I think that's when, you could see. So I like this movie, and Stallone, I love Stallone and his movies. Anyway, let me know what you think of this twist and when you thought of it. Okay, feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, Club Views and Opinions. If you check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. I want to say a special thank you to my patron. His name will appear in this video somewhere. I want to say thank you to him for supporting me. Always having my back. And again, my patron's only $5 a month. I have tons of content on there. Tons of unedited content in there. Everything from WandaVision to Loki to Hawkeye to Moon Knight to She-Hulk to What If to Titans to Doom Patrol. Stargirl, The Flash, Superman and Lois, all 4 parts of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Follow link below to the Patreon. Check it out. Also, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.